Aaron Judge just left the game in the sixth inning against the Kansas City Royals with an apparent left oblique injury. The mechanism of this injury was swinging the bat. And what we already know about the left oblique is that it is at a disadvantage because of the asymmetrical nature of the body. Diaphragm on the right side being stronger than it is on the left, the liver sitting underneath that diaphragm, a stronger right diaphragm, greater attachments on the right side, 3 lobes of lungs on the right as opposed to 2 on the left. We are always biased to being onto that right side, and that left oblique becomes lengthened with externally rotated ribs on the left side, anteriorly tipped pelvis on the left side, and that is opening up that left rib cage and pelvis and lengthening up that left oblique. So now it is at a disadvantage for a contraction because it's lengthened, and at the same time, over the course of time, we are far more biased to being in that right stance. We're far more biased to standing over on that right leg, and it's harder for us to transition from right to left, which is what Judge was trying to do when he was swinging the bat. He was trying to transition from right stance to left stance, and that makes it really hard based on that biomechanical, anatomical disadvantage underneath the rib cage with how we are set up. So that mechanism of injury is typically a concentric strain on that left oblique because the body is trying to shorten the fibers on the left while the fibers on the right are trying to open up. Now at the same time, we also have to look at the right side as a problem in this situation because it's not just a matter of strength on the left, it's a matter of inhibition on the right. These fibers on the right have to let go in order to let that happen. If the right chest wall will not expand during inhalation, if the right chest or if the right obliques will not let go and allow our trunk to get over onto that left side, this will be really, really challenging. It'll be really much harder for the left obliques to pull us back over into the left side in order to make that happen. So there has to be a lot of inhibition on the right side. Now there's a lot of things that can cause that. It could be something somewhere else in the body. Maybe the right adductor is unable to inhibit. Maybe the left adductor is too weak to counteract the tension over on the right side. There's a number of things. Maybe the left posterior hip capsule is really taut. Maybe it's a neurological system. Today in New York, it's a rainy day. It's kind of a gloomy afternoon here in the Bronx, and maybe the neurological system isn't as prepared, isn't as the wheel isn't as greased up, ready to go for an afternoon beautiful day game as it is on this gloomy afternoon here in New York City. So there's a number of reasons why this can happen, but because of this biomechanical setup of the body, because of the way we're designed, our left oblique is at a disadvantage when it comes to swinging a baseball bat, particularly for righties during that follow through. So what needs to happen, obviously he needs to get it assessed, find out the degree of the injury. He needs to rehab it. He needs to get back to full strength, and then he needs a training program that is going to take into consideration this asymmetrical nature of the body. He needs to spend more time strengthening those left abs, specifically in a concentric manner, because that is the way that he is going to operate in baseball. It's also the way he's going to throw a baseball from right field. He's going to throw it from right stance over into left stance. He needs a lot of concentric action on that left side, but at the same time he's got to work on loosening up the right side to allow for that to happen. If you want this side to turn on, you have to make sure that this side can turn off, and there's a lot of different ways that can happen. Maybe it's a soft tissue treatment that he needs. Maybe he needs to open up the rib cage. Maybe he needs to open up the abdominals on the right side, or maybe it's just a matter of strengthening that left side or producing eccentric contraction, eccentric control of that right side oblique. There's a number of avenues that we can go here. Another one is respiration. the body is going to prioritize breathing. It has to get air into the body. If the right side is too tense, if it's too tight and won't allow for respiration, you'll never be able to get that left side to lock down, because the body only cares about survival. It doesn't care about baseball. It doesn't care about hitting home runs. It just wants to survive. So if you are unable to get airflow on the right, remember, the body always takes the path of least resistance. So if there's no airflow allowed on the right side, the body's going to require this side, the left side, to stay open. And because of the anatomical asymmetrical nature of the body, this side, the right side, is going to be much more predisposed to tightness and tension and not allowing airflow to come in, while the left side is going to be predisposed to allowing that airflow to come in. So again, asymmetrical nature of that workout program. Strengthen up that left side, allow that right side to loosen up, and then make sure that you're understanding that the problem doesn't necessarily always have to lie in the direct area of the injury. It can be in the lower body, it can be in the feet, it can be in the neurology of the whole thing. There's a lot of different avenues that you have to look for, but understand that the asymmetrical nature of the body is going to put the left obliques in a dangerous, more vulnerable position than the right side, specifically in that concentric action.